Let's look at how to read the content of files. So far, we've seen how to navigate the system, how to create files, how to delete files, how to copy files, and such things. Now, we're going to focus on actually viewing the content of a file. So we can see a file, just open it. We can just dump the content, and we can also follow it, which is very much useful, because usually you want to look at logs, especially as a QA. You want to see what the application is logging. So the file is changing. As it's changing, you want to keep an eye on it, and we're going to see how to do that. So for this one, I'm going to do it all on Mac. A couple of reasons. One of them is to put a pressure on you to actually learn this stuff on a Mac and Linux, because I really want my students to learn this on Linux, not only on Windows. Because in the real world, other than your laptop, you're not going to do a lot of Windows commands, like on the server and things like that, and you really need to practice using these commands. And if you're on a Windows machine, you are going to open files just the normal way that you normally do. All right. Before we get to the main part of the tutorial, I want to remind you this is part of a full course. It's a free course on my site that I call Engineering Toolbox. It's a collection of different topics. It's a bunch of mini courses in one big course that I meant for somebody just getting into tech, learning how to code, learning how to automate. There's a lot of different tools that will not be part of the main thing you're learning, but you still have to know. And I call them essential tools for an engineer. So it's a course that is configured in a course format, really focused and less distraction. So I definitely think you should consider taking that course. It's free, and I'm going to put the link in the description. All right. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe so you get notification when I create videos. All I do is help people learn automation, help people learn QA, and break into the tech field in general. So you would really enjoy my content, and I focus on education. All right, so subscribe and like the video. All right, so let's get back to the main part of the tutorial. All right, so I have these examples here, and let's say I have this CSV file. It's a list of users, okay? All I did is really ask ChatGPT, give me 100 users, and ChatGPT, of course, it doesn't listen to instructions very well. It gave me 1 or 2, but I just say, give me 100 common first names. So I generate data that way. So let's say we want to actually open this in the terminal. Let's say we are on a Linux machine. We SSH onto a remote machine where we don't have a UI like this. We can open our files in. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open the terminal. So I'm going to use a terminal that is built into VS Code. This is VS Code. You can just install it. Visual Studio Code is one of the most popular tools out there. It's an IDE. Okay, I could open it in the terminal. It's the same thing. When I click on here to open it, it will take me straight to that folder. All right. So now if I do ls, the same commands, right? ls to see what my files are. I do see this list of users. That's CSV. So the command I want to show you is cat list of users.csv. Okay. So it would basically cat out, like it would just take the entire content of the file and it will dump it into the terminal. Clear? I'm going to do cat list of users, hit enter. Just put in the file name and hit enter. It will just dump the whole thing out. So if you're looking at the cheat sheet, actually I should have referred to that first, but here we are. I'm looking at the Mac one this time, and cat, right? It's viewing and editing files. So we're going to talk about viewing files. Those are other things. So we just did cat, and you can actually do it to multiple files, right? Let's do one more example. I'm going to do clear. Let's say I want to cat out the content of this Python file. I'm going to do cat example logging, bam, right? I literally printed out the file, okay? So sometimes I want to see what the file is doing and I don't want to open it. I just want to cat it real quick. I just want to verify something quick. So you would use the word cat, C-A-T. The other one is I don't use head very often. I use tail. So head will show you the top of the file, and tail will show you the bottom of the file. In fact, literally, this is the only time I'm using head. So is head in the file name. By default, it's going to show you the first 10 lines. So let me clear this. So I'm going to say head list of users. I just do Control C to kill it. So I typed the command, right? And I don't want to know more. Control C will just kill it instead of deleting it all the way back. So I'm going to do head list of users.csv. See, when I hit enter, it just showed me the top 10. We look at it, it showed me from John all the way to Jennifer. Okay, and we can tell it to give us more. According to this, it says do n and the number of lines you want. So I'm going to do head, number of lines, 20, list of example users. There you go. All the way up to Margaret, right? So when we look at 20, that is Margaret. That is important right there. Okay, then the one I always use, tail. Tail is the last one. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do tail, list of users, hit enter, and it shows me the last, all the way up to the last. So let's see the bottom one. Virginia, I don't know where this percent sign came from. Actually, let me do it again. Yeah, I don't know why it's adding this. That's pretty interesting. I don't see anything in there. I don't know why the percent sign is showing up here. So it's showing me basically the bottom 20. If I do clear, if I do tail dash, I don't think you need n. Yeah, n20. I believe so. Let's do n20 because I never do n, and I do this all the time. List of users. So now we got 20 of them. What if I do tail 20 list of users without the n? That did not actually work. Tail 20 list of users. Okay, so we do need the dash n. It did print out it went by the default value when you don't put n in there. So it thinks I'm trying to list out both of them. So it failed for the 20, saying, hey, there's no file called 20. Then it actually listed out this one. Okay, so we just learned something. Now the one I really use quite often is the dash f, follow the file. So if I do tail and let me do dash follow, and let's say output.log. If we look at that, we see 30 right here, right? So we put the output.log, we've seen the bottom of it. So now I'm going to run this Python script actually. So it will keep the purpose of the script is to keep writing into this file. So a lot of times we have an application that's running and outputting stuff. It's always outputting the logs or some kind of information into a file, and you want to actually open the file and read it while it is being processed, while it is being written into. It's a very common practice, especially as a QA. So I want to execute this file. I'm just going to run it. So it is running. So if we open it here, we're going to see it, new stuff being added. I hope it is running. Let's see. Why is it not being added? Yeah, we can see every now and then. If we look at this script here, let me see, how often is it doing it? Every second it should be writing into the file. So let's open this other terminal. So if you have terminals here, you have like, it's like having tabs. You have this, the Python one I just executed, the tail one, okay? So since I have tail.f, is live showing me the content of that file. So I'm going to do Control-C to kill the tail. I'm going to say clear. So I'm going to do, if I do tail and do output.log, it just shows me the bottom 10. But by now, it's way more than 45. I'm going to do tail again. It's at 49 already. I'm going to do tail again. It's 51 already. So you can keep doing that. You can keep doing tail and tail and tail, or you can just do tail dash follow and output.log. Now, it's real time. It's almost like you're looking at the console. As soon as the file is updated, you're actually tailing it and you're following it, okay? And it's going to start from the 10, but you can just say, I want to tail dash 100F. Start from the previous 100 lines and start to follow it, okay? If I do that, now it's going to show me all the previous 100 lines, and then it will start to basically follow. And this file is actually continuously being updated, and it is one of the most common commands I use when I'm trying to look at a file that is actually being changed as I speak, okay? All right, so that's all I want to show you in this video. This has been commands to actually view contents of files. All right, let's keep going.